kids for me again. Something has come up and I could really use your help.
Hey, Jean. I'm sorry, but I think I might be coming down with something. I haven't been feeling very well lately. I think I might have caught a cold or something. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to be around the kids right now. I wouldn't want them to catch whatever it is that I have. It doesn't seem safe for any of us. I'm sorry.
Hey! You said yourself you're not even sure of what it is. It's probably just a cold and nothing that serious. There's not even anybody living with you or anything. I'm sure it would be fine. I don't think it's a big deal. Don't worry too much about it. It'll really be fine if they catch a little something. No worries. They're kids, so they'll get over it pretty fast, no matter what it is. You know how kids can be. All you have to do is make sure they eat something and play with them a bit, and they'll be fine. I can bring them by your place tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's really sudden. Why do you have to go out and spend the night somewhere else all of a sudden like this anyway? What is going on?
Well, the truth is, there's someone I've been seeing. I guess he's kind of my boyfriend now. He invited me to go on a ski trip with him. We're going to stay the night at a resort together in a different city. How often do people get to go on day trips to ski resorts anyway? Who does that? I'm really excited. I've never gotten to do anything like this before. This is going to be so cool. I can't believe I'm getting to do this. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, I'd really appreciate it if you could watch the kids for me again. Would you please? I promise I will bring you back a souvenir. Something you'll love. Promise!
Even still, Jean, this is on really short notice. And I told you I'm not feeling so good. This is kind of unfair. But I guess I can help you this one last time. This really is the last time, though. This can't happen again. Really. The next time you need me to watch the kids, don't put off telling me. You really have to let me know further ahead of time. I'm busy. I have things to do too, you know. I have a schedule just like everyone else.
Hey, come on now. What do you mean by busy? What kind of schedule are you even talking about? We both know you don't do a whole lot. You just lie around the house indeed and mess around all day. And it's not like you have a job to go to or anything like that. But fine, whatever you say. I'll try to remember to tell you sooner next time, even though I don't know why you would need me to. But anyway, the kids get cold easily, so can you keep your heat on really high?
Yeah, sure. And please, Jean, come early tomorrow. Don't come so late like you did the last time. Like I said, I am already sick, and all of this really messes with my schedule.
Fine. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Casey. I'm home. Oh, hello. The kids are here today. Hello there. Did you two come all the way here because you missed your favorite uncle?
Jean just dropped them off. She didn't let me know ahead of time. She didn't call ahead or anything. She just made her own plans and called me right before at the last minute. This is the last time I'm letting her do this to me. She just does whatever she wants and leaves me to take care of her kids without thinking of me or them at all. You've noticed that she's doing this more and more often, haven't you? She just keeps doing it. This happened last week, too. This is the second week in a row now she's done this to me. And what makes it even worse is I'm sick, and I told her that. And it was like she didn't even care. She asked me to do this for her anyway while knowing that I'm not feeling well. What a selfish thing to do. She knew she would be putting me and her children at risk, but she just asked me to watch them anyway. She only thinks about herself.
Casey, I can see why you are upset, but maybe you could cut her a little slack. Try to understand her. She has been trying to meet people and go out on more dates. She's young and she wants to try to date more. We should try to help her out when we can. You shouldn't be so upset with her.
Okay. But she really is doing a lot. She's already gotten divorced twice, William. And now she's trying to go out and meet even more guys?
Well, what do you want her to do? Stay alone for the rest of her life? She's still so young. She's got a lot of life left to live. She should be trying to find someone else to enjoy it with her while she can. Now that I think about it, I think she's only 30 years old. Isn't that right? There's not much else that she could be doing at this time in her life. She has to do what she can to find a little happiness.
That girl really is something. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. Anyway, I really can't be with these children anymore. I have chills and a really bad headache. I'm too sick for this. I really need to go and lie down for a while. William, could you please watch the kids? I just can't do this right now.
Sure, of course. You go and get some rest.
Hey! Jean told me that the kids are staying with you this weekend. I remember noticing that your house was really cold the last time I was over there. That's not good for them. They could catch a cold or something, so you should really keep the heat on in there. Turn it up really high and leave it on the whole time they're with you. We wouldn't want them to get sick. Even if that wasn't the case, I have been using my heater. I use it all the time, but the heating bill has been really high lately. And while we are on the subject, Jean has been bringing the kids over a lot more frequently. It's hard for us to keep having to change the way we run our household all of a sudden. The kids might just have to be a little cold from time to time. They're going to need to adjust to how we do things here. We do turn on the heat at our house, but we try to use it sparingly when we can. If it starts getting a little cold, sometimes we just put on more clothes to save some money. If they feel cold while they're here, they can do the same. Why would you do all of that? What is the point of suffering in the cold when you don't have to? Do you really need to save money that badly? Yes, we do. There are many people who live this way. It isn't that out of the ordinary. This is just how we have to live sometimes. Still, I have already told you how we do things here. We cannot and will not change that because of our circumstances. And when the kids are here, we do turn it on. I promise we do. We just might not use it as often or turn it up as high as you would at your house. They will be okay. You and Jean leave them here, and I take very good care of them. I cook for them, we make do with what we have, and we share it all with them. Maybe it can get a little chilly in here sometimes, but they always get good meals and are taken care of when they are here. Fine, whatever. You don't have to talk to me like that, Casey. You sound really condescending. Well, we wouldn't be having this conversation in the first place if I hadn't suddenly been put in this position by Jean again. If you don't like it, and if you don't like how things are when the kids are here, you are free to come and get them and take care of them yourself. Whatever, Casey. Bye.
Hey, Casey! I'm here! Hey, kids! Your mom is back!
Oh my goodness, Jean. Have you been drinking? You reek of alcohol. You came here drunk? How did you even get here? Oh, you smell so bad. Do you know what time it is? It's so late! This is just like the last time. We told you to come here early. We agreed on that. You said that you would do better. You said you would come earlier this time. What happened? And why would you come here at this time of night and wake up the kids?
I'm sorry, Casey. I was just having so much fun. I didn't realize how late it was getting. It was so much fun, Casey. But you know things can happen. That's how it goes. This is what people do when they're in their 30s, right?
Speaking of which, you really need to get it together, Jean. Yes, you are 30. You should be doing better than this. I don't understand how you can be behaving so irresponsibly. Can't you think of anyone besides yourself? You just call me out of nowhere and drop your kids off over here. You didn't even let me know ahead of time. And this wasn't the first time you've done this either. You never plan anything. How can you do that to your kids? How can you treat them this way? What kind of mother does these kinds of things? You stay out drinking and show up in the middle of the night to pick them up? You can't keep doing things like this, Jean. Really.
Enjoy your life! Life is short. YOLO! Haven't you heard that before, Casey? You know, YOLO. You only live once. You have to enjoy your life. I want to enjoy my life, Casey.
Oh my goodness. Can you please be quiet? You're going to wake up the kids. You're going to wake up the whole neighborhood. You can't pick your kids up like this. Just go home and go to sleep for now. Come back and pick them up in the morning.
Wow, thanks a lot, Casey. You're so great. You're the best. Oh, I am so tired.
Hey, Casey! You should come over to the house today when you get the chance.
Yeah, Casey. I'll be over here too. Hurry up! Come soon!
Yeah, sure. I can come by. I'll make my way over there when I finish cleaning. See you soon. Okay. See you when you get here. We will be waiting. Hey, Jean, Debbie. I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Hi, Casey. Mom! Casey is here.
Oh, Casey's here. Good. Come on in, Casey. Do you want to sit down and have something to eat? Did you have lunch yet? What do you mean? I had lunch a while ago. It's already past 3 o'clock. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Well, why don't we talk over a cup of coffee? What do you mean? What is all this? What did you want to talk about? Is something the matter?
Oh, no. There's nothing wrong or anything. I just wanted to ask you for a favor. A big, big favor.
What is it? It's really nothing too serious. You know that Jean has been seeing someone these days, right? Yeah, I know all about that. That's the reason why she keeps going out and leaving the kids with me all of a sudden. Well, they have been together for a little while now, and he cares about her a lot. So he proposed to her. He wants to arrange a marriage to meet the family. Do you think you can come too? We would love for you to be a part of it and meet everyone with us. Oh, really? Wow. Well, of course. I would love to come. Thank you for letting me know about it. When do you plan on setting this up? What day will it be on? Do you know yet? Well, there is something we wanted to talk to you about before that.
Could you please not tell him that I have kids? My mom is having a hard time with all of this too. We don't really know what we're going to do or how we're going to handle it. We haven't really figured that part out yet.
I'm sorry, what? If you're having a meeting with him and the whole family and the kids are there too, how are you going to explain who they are? How are you supposed to keep that up? There's no way he's not going to figure it out. Also, you seriously never told him you have kids? And you want to marry this guy?
Well, we were thinking about not having them there at all. We know we wouldn't be able to hide them or anything. So we thought maybe you could ask your mom to watch them on that day. She stays at home most of the time anyway, right? So we thought maybe it would work out. What do you think?
What? My mom doesn't stay at home all of the time because she just wants to be there. I'm sure she'd love to go out more. But she's old and she has back problems. She can't watch her kids, Jean. And I don't even know how you could think to ask me something like this in the first place. And you're also asking us not to let him know that you have kids. You want us to lie to the man? And how could you think my mom could take care of your kids by herself anyway? They are 3 and 5 years old already. That's a lot for anyone, especially an older woman with back issues.
Okay, well then you could just watch them. I can just tell him that you couldn't make it because you're sick or something.
I mean, but aside from the whole thing about you not having anyone to watch the kids, he really doesn't know about them at all? You really didn't tell him that you have kids?
Well, about that. I don't really know how it all happened. Things just kind of turned out this way. If you were in my position, what would you have done? Wouldn't you have done the same thing? I've been married and divorced 2 times already, and I have 2 young kids. What kind of guy would like me at all or want to be with me after knowing about all of that?
She's right, Casey. You know she is.
Yeah, but even still, even if you have been divorced and even if you have kids already, how could you not tell him that? What do you think is going to happen? Have you not considered the future at all?
I mean, I'm sure things will eventually work out somehow. Once we get married, the paperwork will already be done and everything. And he can't just leave after we get married. It's not like he would find out that I already have kids and then go through all of the effort that it takes to get a divorce. That's a lot of work.
What? If it was me, I would definitely get a divorce after finding that out. That's super deceptive.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to call us scam artists or something?
I mean, you are scamming the man. Usually when people talk about scam artists, they're talking about property and stuff, right? But I think this still pretty much counts as a type of scam. You're not scamming him for his possessions or anything, but you're still scamming that poor man. Scamming isn't always just about money or property. It can be about other things too. You're not scamming him for his money, and you're not scamming him for his property. But you are kind of scamming him for his life. This is a pretty big deal. Now that I think about it, you're basically committing fraud. This is a huge mistake, Jean, and it could harm the kids too. You are marrying this man while keeping an enormous secret from him. He's suddenly going to become a father of 2 children. They're not even his own. Once he finds that out and divorces you, you'll be divorced for the 3rd time. And how do you think that will affect your kids? You really weren't considering any of this while you were dating him? How can you do something like this to another person? And how can you do something like this to your children? Hey, stop making such a big deal out of all of this. Calm down. Listen to what you're saying. It's really not that serious. We'll figure it all out.
Fine, Casey. I promise I'll talk to him about it. We're just introducing everyone to each other for now. So for just this one time, can you watch the kids for me? It would be better for me to talk to him while the kids aren't there anyway, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes some sense, but...
See? It all works out best this way. I will tell him all about it, and everything will be fine. So on the day when he's with me meeting everybody, you can just watch the kids. It would really help. Oh, and I just remembered something about the last time they were over at your house. Casey, your house isn't really kid-friendly. Do you know what I mean? There's not really a lot of stuff for them to do over there. There's nothing for them to play with or anything. I think it would be better if you could buy some stuff for them and keep it at your house for whenever they come over. You know, like some games or some toys or some books. Stuff like that. It's already kind of hard for me to get them to your house in the first place, but I always have to think about what other stuff to bring. And I always worry that I'm going to forget something. It's a lot of stuff to carry too, you know?
Well, soon there won't be any more reasons for you to bring them back over to my house anyway, because you are going to be telling him the truth. And you're about to be married again. You'll have other new family members to help you out with a lot of stuff. I think it would be better for you to just buy stuff for them yourself and then carry it with you whenever you drop them off somewhere. And if for some reason you do end up bringing them back to my place, I think you'll be able to handle carrying a little bit of extra stuff with you. You can just keep bringing the stuff they already have from home. It's starting to get a little uncomfortable in here. Hey, where are you going?
Oh, I was about to head over to the meeting. The one with Jean and her new fiancé and all of the family members.
What? I haven't heard from Jean about the kids or anything yet, though. I wonder what's going on.
Oh, well, she's actually here right now. She said she was waiting on the first floor with the kids. She said we should come down together so that you can pick the kids up. And then we were going to head over to the meeting together.
She said what? What do you mean she's downstairs with the kids? How could she do this to me again? She didn't say anything to me beforehand. I told her she can't keep doing things like this all of the time because I have my own things to do. I am busy today. You know I'm supposed to see my mom today. She has to go to the hospital, and I have to be there with her. How can she just show up here out of nowhere again? I know we already talked about how she has to stop doing this.
I think it was already kind of discussed before that you had to go see your mom today. But if you were in her position, do you think you would be able to change the date of the whole meeting? A lot of people would be affected. Even still, we're not really in a position to ask her to change the date of the meeting anyway. That's why I felt kind of uncomfortable saying something to her about it.
Wow. I can't believe it. This really is something. But anyway, just forget it. Whatever. I know this is all supposed to be over by the end of the day anyway. Jean is supposed to tell the guy everything today. She is going to tell him the truth about it all. She is going to tell him about her being divorced. She is going to tell him about how she has kids. She is going to tell him everything. She said she wasn't going to keep leaving me with the kids anymore because she is supposed to let him know about all of it today. This should be the last time. It has to be.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'm sure it'll all work out. Anyway, for now, just take the kids with you and your mom to the hospital. You can worry about all of that other stuff later. I'm gonna head downstairs now. Jean and I will drop the kids off at the playground. So hurry up and come down and get them.
I can't believe this is happening. Oh, thank goodness. Things are really going well. I feel so much better now. This is really great. It was so good to meet up with everyone. Everyone seemed so nice. They really did all seem like such good people. It's so good to know that you're about to be a part of a really nice family, Jean. I feel so grateful and relieved.
I know, right? I really can't lose this guy. He is the absolute best. I don't think I would be able to live without him.
Wow, so everything is really going well. He must be a really great guy. And he's for sure fine with it all. You told him everything about you being divorced and having kids, and he still wants to go through with everything? He still wants to get married.
What are you trying to say, William? It sounds like you didn't want things to work out. Is that what you're saying?
No, of course not. I didn't mean it like that at all. I'm just a little surprised is all. But I think it's great. I want things to work out for Jean just like you do.
But you know what, Casey? Things are a little bit weird right now. So I was wondering if I could ask you for a favor. We have been doing all of the stuff we need to do to get ready for the wedding. And we've been dividing up different tasks for everyone and deciding who should do what. We think it would be best if you watch the kids up until the ceremony.
What? What do you mean, me? Why should I be the one to watch the kids? Now is the time for your future husband to be trying to get closer to them and build a relationship with them. You're going to be living together, so you're going to have to start working on building trust and closeness as a family.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. But we're also about to be a newlywed couple. We want to spend time together as a couple without the kids around first. Even if it's only for the amount of time we have left before the wedding. It would be hard if we had to both be parents during the time leading up until the ceremony. Especially since he's never been a father before. I think it would be better to save him at least a little stress if I can. I also want to have time with just the two of us before the actual wedding. I think he would feel better that way too. Don't you think you can help us do that?
Why have you done all of this, Jean? What are your plans? Have you been thinking about the future at all?
I mean, come on, Casey. I think you can work with her a little bit here. It really isn't that much. And it's not like you have a full-time job to go to or anything like that. You're not even working at all. You spent almost all of your time at home anyway, you know.
Do you really think that's the only problem? That isn't even the main point here. Jean, did you even tell that man the truth? Did you tell him about the divorce and your kids?
What? What are you talking about? I told you already that I would tell him. Can't you just watch them up until the wedding ceremony? When it's time for the ceremony to happen, isn't someone going to have to watch them anyway? Someone is going to have to be with them. watching them and taking care of them on that day. The date is coming up really soon. We only have about 3 months left. Can't you just watch them this one time? It would really only be for a little while. It's only until the wedding. I want to experience newlywed things just like everyone else does. Can you please help me do that, Casey? Casey, please? Please help me. I don't want to be a newlywed with children. I want to have this experience alone, with just my fiancé and no kids this time. I had a baby, and after some time, I got divorced. This has happened to me more than once already. But I want this time to be different. This time has to be different from the other times.
The girl is pouring her heart out to you, Casey. She's begging you. Please help her out just this once. Please help her, Casey. We are all a family. You have to help your family. Come on, Casey. You can help her this one last time. Just watch the kids. You always did it for her before. They're saying that this will be the last time. Things should be different after this.
You too, William? Aren't you capable of saying anything else?
Yes, William! Please explain things to your wife. Even if I beg her and pray, it's like it will never be enough for her to agree to what she should be doing to help us.
Okay. For now, I will do it. But really, this must be the last time. I really won't ever deal with this again. I'm going to bring the kids to the ceremony myself. I'm going to talk to his parents and his friends. I'm going to greet everyone, and I'm going to introduce the kids to them myself. If you really haven't said anything to that man yet, you need to tell him right now. Do you understand, Jean?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for doing this for me, Casey. I promise I will do the right thing. I promise! Hey! What's going on? Is everything okay? Where's Casey?
She said she's really tired. She's asleep right now.
Okay, good. We need to know about how good Jean's acting skills are.
I think this man really must miss out on a lot because of how sensitive he is. I'm sure people take advantage of him a lot, and I bet he always falls for it. I mean, I think I'm pretty sensitive too, but I think it's different when it has to do with something that's happening between a man and a woman. All a girl has to do is cry, and a man will just break.
Okay, but really, what are you planning on doing now? What is going to happen? I saw everything at that family meeting. This is really no joke. It's serious. I watched you pretending to be all nice and innocent. I had to try really hard to maintain myself and hold it all in. I'm getting kind of worried about all of this. I really don't know if that guy is going to want to marry you after you tell him everything.
What, are you crazy? Do you really think I'm going to tell him everything? Just wait and see. I have a plan. I've thought of everything.
Yeah, William. My daughter is really smart. She knows what she's doing. She has a plan. And everything is going to work out the way she wants. Just watch.
Jean, you said I would only be watching the kids for 3 months. That was 5 months ago. What is happening? What's going on? When are you going to come get them? Do you really not know the date yet?
You seem like you're in a big hurry. Anyway, I planned on telling him about everything today. And yes, we have chosen a date for the wedding. It's going to be next month on the 15th. The place where we wanted to have it originally didn't have any spaces left, so we had to wait a little longer than expected.
Wow, really? That's good to hear. I'm glad you're finally working things out. And I'm glad you got to reserve a spot at the place you wanted. This is all good news.
Yeah, right. So what did you and William plan on getting them for a wedding gift?
Is there something specific that you need, Jean? I heard that your fiancé is pretty well off. I've been thinking about it, and it seems like money isn't something that you'll really have to worry about. So I'm not really sure what to get you. What would be good? Is there anything that you want, or is there something that you need?
Yeah, you're right. He does do pretty well for himself. And he makes pretty good money. But still, housing prices are really high now. So we've been renting in a cheaper place and have been paying for it monthly.
What? Wow, really? But is it actually that bad? Like you said, he makes good money, and it can't be that expensive.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, I was actually going to ask you for money as a gift, but I thought it would be better to ask you for something else. What do you think about letting us stay in the house you used to live in? You know, as a wedding gift. He said he didn't want to ask his parents for any help. You know how it is. So we thought it would be a good idea if we just moved into your old house, and then we could save up and eventually pay you for it.
You thought you could do what? What are you saying? How can you be so shameless?
Oh, and do you think you would be able to keep watching the kids for me? You could just keep taking care of them and raise them as if they're your own. Just think about it. Why would a man with all of these good things going for him want to marry someone who's been divorced twice and already has 2 kids? And you've already been watching over them so much anyway. And you do such a good job. You're great with them, and they really love you. You've already been basically raising them for half a year anyway. You can just think of them as your own kids. You've already been basically raising them like they're yours this entire time. And since you're infertile and can't have kids of your own, you would be getting something you want too. You can think of it as a gift from me.
What? Are you crazy? Have you lost it? Hey, watch what you're saying. You don't have to talk to her like that. Look at how you're treating your sister-in-law right now. That kind of language isn't necessary. And you're just going to watch while she talks to me like this? Do you think I'm supposed to just accept what she's saying to me right now? Do you really think that's something that she can just say to me? What did you just say? What even is all this? How can you talk to them like that, Casey? Have you lost it too? Do you not know whose side you're supposed to be on right now? What's the matter with you? What did you just say to me? Let's go home right now. We need to talk. What do you mean? Why do we have to go home and talk? We can talk right here. Do you have something to say to me that you can't say here? Do you think you'll be able to say it better at home?
Casey, I'm finally about to have something happy happen in my life. Why is that such a big problem for you? Why can't you just let me be happy for once? Why can't you just let me have this one thing? Do you think that you can marry my brother and stay at home and play around and have fun all day every day while I have to raise 2 kids? Is that what you want for me? It's not even just that. You want me to raise my ex-husband's kids with a different man? If you really hate the idea of taking care of them that much, just give them away to an orphanage or something. I don't care. I have no intention of raising them. I don't care where they go or what happens to them.
What did you just say? Can you really call yourself a mother? How can words like that come out of the mouth of someone who has birthed 2 children?
Is every woman that has had a baby supposed to be a mom? These are not children that I gave birth to because I wanted to. I have been plagued by these children for too long. I am not going to have my life ruined by them any longer. I'm not doing this anymore. You take care of it. Do whatever you want, Casey. They are your children now. I hope you figure something out.
Oh yeah? Do what I want? Are you sure that you want to do this?
What they do, where they go, where they live, what happens to them. None of that has anything to do with me anymore. Just hurry up and give me the house. We are young and we are paying rent on a place we can't afford. You should be living somewhere where you pay rent instead. Thanks for the house. We'll be sure to enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Do whatever you want, Jean. I'll do whatever I want, too. Oh my goodness! I feel like I'm going crazy! Where is Casey? Why is she not here yet? Weren't you two supposed to be coming together? Oh, she said something about a special shop that she needed to go to. She said she'd come after she gets done doing whatever she needs to do there. Don't worry. I'm sure she'll be here soon. Well, it's not like she's the one getting married. She better get here soon. Hey, Debbie. Oh, Chuck. It's so good to see you. You look great. You look even taller in a tuxedo.
Please take good care of my sister, Chuck. You have your work cut out for you, though. Of course. I am looking forward to it. I fell in love with Jean and all of her charm. By the way, I heard that you're giving us your old house. I'm really grateful, but I also feel kind of guilty. I really didn't want to get married at the expense of my parents. You're doing us a big favor. Did you really pay for everything? What do you mean? Why would you pay for it anyway? We are family. We were planning to move into a new place soon anyway, so it's not a big deal. Thank you so much, William. I really appreciate you. You have been so good to us. It's no problem at all, really. You can pay us back by taking good care of my sister.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, William.
What? Casey?
Oh my goodness. Casey, what are you doing? Why are the kids here? What is happening?
Oh, hi. You must be William's wife. I'm sorry for not introducing myself earlier. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Jean's fiancé, Chuck.
Yes. I have been looking forward to meeting you for a while now, Chuck.
You have such beautiful children. And they're still so young. I'm sure it can get pretty difficult. You must have a hard time with them sometimes.
Oh, it's not difficult for me at all. It must be even harder for you. You must be struggling way more than I am, especially since you've never had kids before.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Oh, don't mind her. She's just being silly. Sometimes she gets a little confused and makes mistakes.
Casey, you and the kid should hurry up and get inside.
What? What do you mean? Why would we do that? The kids have to watch their mom get married and say hello to their new stepdad.
Stepdad? What are you talking about?
What? Did Jean not tell you yet? Jean has been divorced 2 times. These are her 2 children from her previous marriages.
Casey, what are you doing?
Don't believe her, Chuck. She's crazy. Really. Don't believe anything she says. Oh, I thought you might say something like that, so I brought the DNA test with me just in case. Here, Chuck. You can check them if you'd like.
What? Jean, what is all this? What does she mean? What is she talking about?
Casey! What are you doing? Are you that determined to ruin my wedding? Do you really want to ruin my life that badly? What is the matter with you?
Do you want to ruin my life, Jean? You asked me to take care of these kids for you and accept them as a gift? You expected me to raise your children for you. I would never do something like that. I am going to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated. Like scam artists. What? Scam artists? Who are you calling scam artists? Hey, ouch! How could you try to hurt me like that? Are you crazy? We are getting divorced, William. It's over.
Chuck, really? Listen to me. That woman has no idea what she's talking about. I promise. She's crazy. You can't believe anything she says. I'll explain everything.
No. Forget it, Jean. I'm glad I found out before it was too late. I'll take care of my family and friends. You take care of your guests. I'm leaving, Jean. We won't be seeing each other again.
The engagement was called off. Not only that, but Chuck even sued Jean for fraud. I divorced William immediately after all of that stuff happened. I sold the house too. My sister-in-law had nowhere to go after that. I received my mother-in-law's house, which was in William's name, as alimony. He, Jean, and Debbie ended up having to move in together into a small studio apartment somewhere. Not that long ago, I found out that Debbie is dying of liver cancer. My ex-husband called me and told me about it all. He asked me for money. He said they all needed my help. I blocked him. That's what they all get for doing the things that they did. You know, it really is true what people say, that you have to treat others well while you have time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And why not leave us a comment in the comment section down below. See you in the next video!
Stacy, are you there? I was just wondering if you had heard from Henry.
No, I didn't hear anything. Is anything wrong?
Well, I had plans to have dinner with Henry tonight, but he told me that he wanted to reschedule because he had other plans. So I was just checking in. I'm assuming those dinner plans were with you.
Oh, well, I didn't make anything too fancy, so don't worry about it. Please have a good dinner with him. I'll also let him know just in case.
I'm sorry for troubling you with this, dear. You know how he is. He acts all tough, but deep down he's a mama's boy.
It's a good thing that he cares about his family. Please don't worry, Mrs. Dunstan. Have a good time with him.
I was wondering about what to eat for dinner, and I guess the best option is a steak. It's been so long since we had steak. I'm sure the two of you don't dine at such luxurious places, so Henry must really be craving that.
Sure, I guess that's true.
And pardon me, Stacy, but I was wondering why you're always at work. You seem a little too busy nowadays.
Yeah. Work has been more busy than usual. I guess I have no choice, though. I have to work overtime today as well, actually.
Overtime? I guess you must really be in love with your work to be pushing yourself this hard at such a young age. If you continue to work crazy like this, you'll become a workaholic. Working every day is a little too much, don't you think? My poor Henry is going to start feeling lonely too.
I guess so. But Henry isn't working at the moment, so someone has to bring in the income. There's bills to be paid and things to buy, so there's no choice but for me to work.
I obviously know at least that much. But you can't help it, can you? He's not purposefully avoiding work. It's just that he can't, so he's unemployed.
Of course I understand that.
In that case, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're providing and earning for the family. We're also out of debt thanks to your hard work. But I don't mean to ask too much. Recently, you know, Henry's father has been a little weak lately because of his illness. He's having trouble quitting work, but we all know that he has to quit at some point. So, about the allowance.
Are you trying to suggest that it's not enough?
We are so thankful for everything and all. But yes, it's not enough. We are family now, right? You could consider us like your parents and maybe give a little more. Could you consider increasing the allowance?
You want more allowance, but you also want to fine dine and have steak?
What does that have to do with anything? That's a whole different topic. When I last saw Henry, he was looking really thin and malnourished, so I want to treat him with some proper food. That's all. I've always been wanting to treat him to steak, so I actually cut our grocery costs down for this dinner. I've been looking forward to this date for so long.
Well, yes. I understand then. Fine, I'll increase the allowance for this month, but please don't ask any further. I'm already paying you about $3,000 a month, which is more than enough for 2 people to comfortably live on. Especially since you're living in a rural city.
But $3,000 is nothing compared to what you make. $3,000 is like a cent to you. What are you being so stingy for? I already heard from Henry that you make about $10,000 a month.
Even if that were the case, I hope you realize that I have savings and plans for the future as well. I can't use all that money just on you. Even if I make a lot, we live in the city and it's quite hard to keep up.
What are you talking about? You're still young and have your youth. What could you possibly be saving all that money for? You can always earn money.
Always earn money? Just how long do you expect me to work for?
Well, you wouldn't understand. At our age, it's getting more difficult to perform daily tasks. You should be more grateful to your elders while they're still alive. It's thanks to our generation that your generation is able to prosper and do so well.
I understand. But if you're going to go out for dinner with Henry, could you please at least have a word with him? Maybe ask him to consider start looking for work?
That's up to Henry, not me. I can't bring up work to Henry. He will get upset at me. You know that he has work trauma. My poor son had to work nonstop at that horrible company without a single break. I'm sure you know this already, though. I think he needs a little break before he starts looking for work again. He's my precious son.
A break? That situation happened 3 months ago already. He can't keep using that as an excuse to avoid looking for work forever. And what is work trauma? He was asked to do overtime like 6 times at most.
3 months is not long enough. He needs more time to recover. And I already told you before, didn't I? He's not avoiding work on purpose. It's that he can't find work. There's nothing that suits Henry in the current job market.
Why should the job have to suit him? Not everyone is working at jobs that suit them.
Well, if you're worried about him not working, then just get him to take care of the house. I don't know about suggesting to look for work, though. And while he's working on the chores, you could go do your work. Doesn't that sound great?
I don't know about that.
Trust me, Henry has always been good at chores since he was young. He loves washing the dishes and mopping the floor. I'm sure he could do at least that much to provide. And from what I heard, he's already splitting the household chores with you, right?
Did Henry say that?
Yes, he told me the other day we called. What do they call them again? House husband, was it? There's men that stay home and do the cooking nowadays, too. And my Henry is a great cook. Even if his cooking isn't good, he's a fast learner. If there's anything that you want him to do, just tell him. My Henry will learn it fast and get it done right away.
I think that actually may be impossible, though.
Impossible? What do you mean?
He does cook for me at least once a week, which is fine and all. But he leaves heaps of dishes and cutlery in the sink. At least a week's work while I'm away at work. It's honestly a nightmare to come back to that after days of working. Even if I tell him to do the laundry while I'm away, he would simply pile up the clothes near the washer and never put them in. And if I asked him to iron my blouse for a business trip, it ends up with even more wrinkles than before. It's not even that I didn't show him how. I've explained to him countless times already. One time I asked him to make a simple pasta dish and he burned our expensive pans and even left the mess as is. The place stank like smoke for so long.
That's why. You need to be patient. Those kinds of things need to be taught carefully, step by step. Henry won't understand if you just blabber it all at once. Show him those instructive videos or something. And you're his dear wife. Make sure to compliment him along the way like a child. That's the only way he'll learn and improve. And if you teach him carefully, your life will be so much easier. The load from not having to do the house chores is the best feeling ever. When I first got married, Henry's father was useless. He never helped with the household, but I would teach him small things. He slowly managed to learn. It's all about the process. You need to be more understanding with these things.
Never mind. I've already told you that I've tried many times. Even if I taught him, it's much faster if I just took care of it on my own. It's time-consuming, but I'd rather have a job well done than half-assed.
Well, if you say so. I've already suggested the best course of action. If that's the case, then you can deal with the household chores without complaining. Yikes! I didn't even realize the time. I actually have lunch plans today with some friends. We are going to a very fancy and pretty cafe in the area. We are having caviar and tea. I should probably start getting ready.
You're going out for lunch today as well? Didn't you go out for lunch yesterday? And what, isn't caviar expensive nowadays?
Oh, but that was with a different group of friends. Is there something wrong with going out twice? I'm only treating myself here and there.
Nothing. Don't mind me. Have a good time with your friends, then.
Stacy, are you busy?
No, I'm here.
That's great. I figured you wouldn't be doing anything.
I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. Did you need me for anything?
What do you mean? I thought you would have already known. We are doing a huge family party at our house for New Year's Eve. It's tradition. So we're inviting everyone and having a large party here. Of course you must come too.
Oh. No, nobody told me about this. But I'm very sorry, Mrs. Dunstan. I asked Henry to tell you that I actually have plans to visit my parents during the New Year's Eve. They haven't seen me for a while, so I'm sure they'd expect me to visit during the year end.
Oh. Wait. I think I did hear something like that from Henry. But you must absolutely come this year. Please reconsider visiting your parents. You can visit them next year instead.
I'm sorry. I've already made those plans months ago with my family. I can't reconsider, so I'll have to pass on the party this year. My parents are also really looking forward to me visiting.
Who cares about your parents? You're a part of our family now ever since you married my Henry. Don't you think it's a little rude to say no to your elders? We don't have large parties like this often. The New Year's Eve party is the only big party we throw once a year. It's Dunstan tradition for all family to come. I can't believe you already made those plans with your parents and didn't consult with us either. It's quite disrespectful.
Times have changed. I'm sorry. I understand that back then it was disrespectful to not obey your parents-in-law, but nowadays things have changed. My parents deserve to see me just as much. I'm also their biological daughter. I've also notified you previously. This is something that we've already talked about. I'm also positive that you said that you understood.
At that time, we weren't sure about the party. But we decided to have it, and we need you there. We're also much closer to you than your parents. Why would you go out that far for New Year's? I invited everyone, and everyone agreed to join the party. Should I tell them all not to come then?
Why would you go that far? It's just one person.
More than 50 people are planning to come visit for the party. All of our relatives and friends are so excited to meet you. I can't possibly go around telling them that my daughter-in-law decided to ditch us for her parents. And what about the younger cousins and friends? They're going to leave early if it's a party of just old people. Henry also will be alone. Poor Henry will be scolded for not coming with his partner. You want everyone to be disappointed.
I mean, even if you put it that way, that can't change the fact that I've already made an arrangement with my parents.
You can always visit your parents. Just save New Year's Eve for us and go spend Christmas with them. Your parents are also very healthy, aren't they? It'll be easy to meet them whenever. Henry's father is sick, and who knows? This may be his final New Year's party. We should at least let him have a precious New Year's memory for this year.
I'm not so sure. Last year, I was caught up on work and couldn't visit them for Christmas or their birthday, so they've especially missed me all year. I should at least make time and visit them this year. I've been missing my parents as well ever since I moved to the city. It's actually been more than a year since I last saw and spoke with my parents.
When I was your age and got married, I actually didn't see my parents for years. I wasn't whining and complaining like you at the time. My mother-in-law was also very strict and controlling and absolutely wouldn't let me go home during the first 5 years. I'm only asking you to be there for one party. Compared to the treatment I got, I'm much kinder and nicer to you.
But you just admitted that you didn't like being forced to not meet your parents. If you didn't like it, then how does it make any sense to put me through the same situation?
My situation was years ago, and it was for multiple years. But this year is a different case. This year may be the last year for Henry's father. You shouldn't speak so selfishly like that. Even people that we met once or twice or haven't met at all are agreeing to join the party. And you're the wife of my one and only precious son. It would be so disrespectful to not have you there.
It's just that.
Are you still not listening? If you're having trouble telling your parents directly that you want to cancel the plans with them, I can do it for you. If I ask, it'd be very hard for them to reject me. I know you want to come to the party as well.
Please don't bother with that. I can contact them myself and let them know. But I'm letting you know right now. I'm going to see my parents for Christmas and New Year's next year.
Yeah, fine, whatever. I won't ask you again, I promise. Henry's father will be so happy to hear the good news. I'll let everyone know that you're joining, and you'll help assist the party guests as well. I'll send you all the party details later. Check your phone. And make sure to check your duties as well. Don't forget to bring anything.
Okay, I got it.
There's actually some things I need to request you to buy ahead of time. Henry has been a little busy lately looking for work, so I don't want to bother him too much. And obviously, you already know, but Henry's father is ill and I can't drive, so that only leaves you. You're fine with it, right?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
All right then. I'll contact you again sometime later, closer to the party.
Got it. Bye then.
Bye! Stacy, what is this?
What's wrong?
The alcohol is not enough. We have so many guests coming, and you only bought 20 bottles. This is the highlight of the party. I wrote 45 bottles on the list. You only got half.
Actually, your list said 20 bottles, not 45. Did you make sure to write it down carefully?
How useless. Even if it said 20, you should have used common sense to tell that it won't be enough. How can I rely on you for the rest of the party? This is barely enough for our party. How embarrassing. Go back to the liquor store and get another 20.
It's impossible for me to go right now. I'm actually on the way to work right now, and the liquor store is in the opposite direction.
Work? You already know that there is a big and important party coming up, and it's work again? It's always work this, work that with you. Are you using it as an excuse to forget your promise to help me with the party? Everyone's excited and looking forward to the grand party tomorrow. There's no more time and no room for mistakes.
Well, I'm on my way to work already, so we can find out a solution tomorrow. I actually remember there being an alcohol store near the house as well. Like a 10-minute drive at most. It closes very late too, so you can easily go there and put 20 bottles in your car. How does that sound?
You're asking a frail old woman like me to go and buy all those heavy bottles and bring them back to the house myself. Do you have any common sense? What if I got into an accident along the way? Did you even think to consider that?
Well, you're the one freaking out over not having enough bottles, so doesn't it make sense to go and buy extras on your own? If that's too much of a hassle, they actually have a delivery option that you can choose instead. You don't have to carry them all back at once. It does cost a little extra, but it may be worth it.
I don't want to waste my money on a service like that.
Waste? That leaves you with no other options, though.
Of course it's a waste. We never got anything delivered in my time. It was all picked up by hand and brought back in safe condition. These deliveries nowadays aren't so careful and break everything, and you can't even hold them accountable for it. And there is an option. You promised to support the party, so you need to be responsible for your mistake and go buy more. I need you to hurry up and go buy some more right this instant.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm on my way to work already. I'll check if they're open tomorrow and go pick it up early in the morning. Either way, everyone is coming around the afternoon, so it doesn't matter when I go pick it up.
Tomorrow morning? The party starts tomorrow! It'll be too late by then! And did you forget? We have to spend the whole morning tomorrow preparing the dishes for the dinner. Those meals take a long time to prepare.
Didn't you say that you wanted to get Henry to learn cooking? This is the perfect opportunity to teach him then. He's been doing nothing lately at home other than watching TV and lounging around in the hot tub.
He's busy looking for work. I can't possibly burden him with additional tasks during this busy time. He isn't some kind of maid either. He's my precious son. These kinds of jobs like cooking and cleaning are originally meant for women to do.
Well, that sounds like a you problem then. I have work to do, so I can't help with that. At the very least, I'll consider buying more tomorrow morning. Today is impossible. I just arrived at work now. We'll have to talk later. Bye for now.
Excuse me. Hold on a sec. Are you even listening to me? You're not taking anything I say seriously, are you? You ungrateful woman! Stacy! Just where did you go? Everyone is already here waiting.
I was back home for a bit. My parents were very disappointed, so I thought I'd at least come back to say hi. If I leave now, I should get there in a few hours.
What crazy talk is this? Back home? I already told you that this is the most important party that we hold. How can you consider going back home at a time like this? Everyone is here waiting to be introduced to you.
There's no point for me to be there. You can take care of the rest of the party yourself. I did my fair share helping with the preparations. I want to spend this special time with my family as I had initially planned.
Stop joking around! How am I supposed to handle this whole party alone? We have to start handing out the drinks soon and you're not even here. Are you seriously telling me to take care of this whole party alone?
Fine. Let me just get this out and over with. You're inconsiderate. I was standing all day long yesterday and today and was made to run around like a dog. When I was calling with my parents, you told me to end my call right away and start cooking. We were in the kitchen cooking nonstop with no breaks. I was on the verge of passing out at one point. Not only that, you also made me set up the cutlery, plates, and decorations all at once. Don't you think your treatment was a little inconsiderate? And after all that, you proceeded to taste the food and say that it was a little too salty or didn't taste like how your mom made it and whatnot. This party was your idea and your tradition, not mine. And I noticed that you made absolutely no effort to help with the preparations for the party that you're hosting. Even when I went to grab a drink or some food, you treated me like some kind of maid and shouted at me to get back in the kitchen and cook. It almost felt like I was being punished for no reason at all. You showed absolutely no appreciation to my generosity.
What are you blabbering on about? This is normal treatment. You promised to help support the party, and you were being lazy with small tasks that I had given you. And the woman of the household can only eat after the party guests have eaten. What are you complaining for like a little child? There's still so much left to do, and guests are starting to get angsty.
Then let me ask one thing. When I was walking around, I overheard someone compliment the cooking and you taking the credit for it. You said that you worked all day to cook all the food and that you were so thankful for their comments. You clearly knew yourself that it was a lie, though. Why did you do that?
Well, it would look bad on me if I told people that I made you do all the cooking. What's wrong with taking a little credit? I don't want to leave a bad impression on my precious guests.
So to make yourself look better, you threw me under the bus? Do you know how that feels when I was standing for hours and cooking there and all you did was waltz around and take the compliments?
Then what am I supposed to say? That I'm a lazy woman who can't handle cooking some dishes and made my daughter-in-law do everything?
But you were straight up lying to the guests? I even heard you tell them that Henry is working at a top bank. That's me working, not Henry! And what was that about that I never came home or helped with anything? You even called me inconsiderate and incapable of taking care of you. After all I've done for you guys, how could you possibly call me inconsiderate? Do you gain some sort of pleasure lying to others behind my back? Just what do you want to say? You're always complaining about this and that and show no gratitude, so I may have ran my mouth here and there. It's just small talk. It's not serious stuff anyways. If it's your work that's so hard, I'll force Henry to look harder for a job fast. Since you're so hardworking and amazing. Perfect. If Henry finally gets a job, I won't have to provide you an allowance anymore. It's only fair that you receive your allowance from Henry. I can finally get a break. What? I didn't mean it like that. We have always been receiving an allowance from you, so that doesn't need to change. It's tradition. I can't possibly take money from my son. It's his hard-earned money, too. How could you even suggest such a thing? Just how long do you plan to use me for? I'm not some kind of piggy bank to constantly take money from. It's also my hard-earned money. Could you seriously be a little more considerate? You act like you give me so much money when all you give is small change. Others receive so much from their kids. What the hell is a mere $3K to you? I would understand your reaction if it was at least $5K a month. I can't believe I had to end up with a cheap daughter-in-law like you. You're a defect product. You know yourself that $3K is nothing, yet you're hogging on to $7K or more a month. Wow. You just don't understand anything. It's like I'm talking to a wall. Whatever! Just hurry up and get back! I'm wasting my time arguing with you, and I have a party to host. We're also running low on alcohol. Everyone started drinking right away. So bring some more on your way back. Bring a little extra in case, actually. We might need some for backup. I need you here in 10 minutes with the alcohol. You understand that? I'll leave in a bit. Stacy! Just what is wrong with you? How long are you going to make me call for? Sorry, I was a little busy. I had some last-minute work errands to take care of. Work errands? It's always work with you. Do you even know what you put me through? You didn't end up coming back to the party, and I had to take care of everything on my own. And now my whole body is sore thanks to you. You absolute waste of a daughter-in-law. Everyone at the party was asking me where you were. How could you not even show up? Why didn't Henry marry someone more obedient? Mrs. Dunstan, but I'm no longer your daughter-in-law. You didn't hear from Henry? What are you talking about? Well, I'm no longer a part of your family. So please leave me out of your problems. Wait! What are you talking about? Explain it more clearly. What do you mean you're no longer a part of the family? If you fought with Henry, let me know. I can lecture him a little. That day when I was heading back to the party after you suddenly called me over, it started raining bad. I just couldn't believe that I had to leave behind my parents and rush to your place in that horrible weather for some dumb party. I ended up taking a detour to a law firm instead and immediately requested for divorce papers. And right before I moved back in with my parents, I submitted the divorce papers. Henry also gladly signed after I told him how much I was struggling with everything alone. What? What are you talking about, divorce? And you went and did that without even saying a word to me? Why would Henry agree to something so insane? Well, it's done now. We are no longer family, and you no longer can pester me about your events or problems. Oh, and I'm sure it's obvious, but I'm also no longer obligated to provide you an allowance. Since I'm divorced from Henry, you're just a stranger to me from now on. Henry also promised to not contact me anymore. Hold on a second! You went to a lawyer over something that small. It was just one party!
If it was that hard, you should have come and talked to me. Why would you run and get a divorce like that? Do you even know how much I went through during my marriage?
Henry and I already talked of divorce way before this party situation. I told Henry after he left his job that if he can't find another one within a month, then I would consider divorce. As much as I care about Henry, a career-driven and hardworking man is an important factor for me. Henry also apologized and said he would be fine with any decision I made. Almost 5 months passed since he left his job, and of course I couldn't wait around anymore, so I went and got a divorce.
Henry didn't say a single word to me about this. How selfish of you to do something like this without even consulting us. Do you know how hurt Henry's father is going to be?
There's no reason for me to report everything to you. It was my relationship and marriage with Henry that I decided to end. It had nothing to do with you.
Just what are you talking about? I'll never forgive you for making my son a divorced man. You treacherous woman!
Must be upsetting for you. After all those years of getting free money, this news must be shocking for you. Are you sad that you lost your precious piggy bank?
Why would that be the case? That has nothing to do with this. I'm worried about Henry. Even if he were to meet someone new, a divorce is like a red flag on his record. You just destroyed my son and my family. Henry's father might die of a heart attack from hearing this news.
You can no longer guilt trip me anymore. I'm sorry, but I don't think a divorce is the only red flag that Henry has. He doesn't work, doesn't provide, he's lazy, and the list goes on. I would be shocked if he found someone new that fast. And there's actually something that Henry has been hiding from you, but it's just frustrating me so much. He doesn't have work trauma or anything. He also wasn't forced to give up on his job. He heard about my promotion and salary and just suddenly decided not to go to work.
What the hell are you talking about? Henry wasn't able to go to work. He was mentally struggling.
No, he word for word told me that he didn't want to go to work anymore since I was making good money.
So, he just ditched his job like that?
Yes, exactly. At first, he told me that he was teleworking and stayed home all day. Then I got a call from his job and they told me about the situation. I confronted him and he told me that he didn't feel like going because of my salary. That's when I gave him the ultimatum.
Henry did such a thing. I can't believe he'd do something so reckless.
Well, there's the truth. I actually wanted to divorce him right away when I confronted him and found out the reason. But he looked apologetic, so I wanted to give him another chance to get himself together. At that time, he told me that he would try to find resolve and look for a job right away. So I gave him a month's time at most. I actually thought of waiting half a year at first, but after 5 months passed, I didn't see him finding any resolve.
It hasn't exactly been 5 months. Don't you think you rushed a little with your decision?
That's what I'm telling you. I was willing to wait at first, but after realizing no change in his behavior, I had no choice but to divorce him. I reached my limit at that point. There was only so much I could do, but waiting around for a man that wasn't going to make any effort was not on my list.
What? That doesn't count! If you considered 5 months, then you should at least give him 5 months. People need time to change.
If I had sensed even a bit of change, I wouldn't have gone as far as to get a divorce. However, there was nothing from him. Even when I brought up divorce, it was like he was ready. Henry knew it was coming. And I had more reasons. I couldn't see my parents during Christmas and other important holidays. I was starting to miss them more and more. I discussed with my parents, and they were happy to have me back home. And when I talked to my friends, they found it insane that I was also providing money to you guys, when you are clearly receiving good enough money from retirement. I even talked to Henry about all these problems, and it was as if he was listening but wasn't actually there. He gave me half-assed responses, and I couldn't see him in my life anymore.
But just how could you give up so easily? That's what marriage is. There's ups and downs. Henry's father used to beat me up all the time, but I never gave up and got divorced. We are still married and happy.
Well, that's not my idea of marriage. This is certainly not the kind of marriage life I asked for.
I lived and suffered more than you did. I never once complained.
Well, there's no reason for you to complain. You've been happily receiving $3,000 worth of small change a month while your precious son didn't even lift a finger. I'm very sure that you can function and continue on with your life even without my small change.
What are you saying?
And I also recently found out that when Henry told me that he was looking for work, he wasn't even applying to jobs. His search history was just looking at reviews of swords online. Loads of them. I mean, like, seriously? Who the hell looks up swords? Well, actually, it might make sense for a jobless loser like him, of all people, to do that. Why should I have to put up with that crap and stay married to him?
But those kinds of things are natural for men. They like weapons. Looking at that was probably a form of relaxation for him.
Relaxation? Rolling around on bed or the sofa all day wasn't enough relaxing for him. He was using my money to have a lavish life, while I had to suffer listening to your complaints. Well, I haven't even been thanked once? I don't even think I've met Henry's father. And you guys go and have steak with my money and expect me to stay quiet? I don't have to tolerate this crap any longer. I have plans to enjoy my life from now on. You're not a part of those plans.
But you don't know. Henry has some things in life that he has to sort out. He's a troubled kid.
Is he having trouble with breathing? Seems like that's the only thing he's good at doing. I've been patient enough. I wouldn't even be surprised if he forgot how to breathe.
What nonsense are you saying? That's my son you're talking about.
I don't care anymore. He's no longer a part of my life, and you're not a part of my life either.
Stop joking around. Divorce is a serious matter. This isn't something that is decided so lightly. You realize that divorce affects females more than men. Do you think any man will desire you now that you're a divorced woman?
Fine by me. I want to have an easy life with my parents and enjoy my money to myself for once. Maybe I'll travel the world. Who knows? I think I've wasted too much money up till now. I regret it too much. You always complain about how much I made. You already know that I'm wealthy enough to enjoy life alone.
We didn't take that much money from you. It was a small dent for you.
Don't forget to include Henry into the bunch as well. I paid for all his living costs. I've definitely spent more than $20,000 on your family.
What do you plan to do with Henry then? Are you kicking him out? Don't you feel even a little bad for him?
Oh, hell no. This was the house that I worked hard to buy with my savings. Luckily, I made the smart choice not to sign with Henry. He understood and packed right away as well.
Then, why are you with your parents? What happened to that house? If you're not using it, give it to Henry.
I'm renting it out. It's better than having a leech stay there. To me, you guys are all leeches who lust after money.
How dare you?
Oh, and speaking of, Henry told me that he's going to move in with you guys. Please be sure to love and care for your son. The place was a little too big for just me, so it was only smart to rent it out. I don't think you can complain about that anymore, though, since I'm no longer your daughter-in-law.
Wait! What do you mean that Henry is coming back here? I have to look after Henry's father. He's sick. I can't handle them both.
He's your son? That sounds like a problem that you need to take care of. I'm not a babysitter.
You already know that it's impossible for an old woman like me to handle everything.
Then ask one of the many friends from your party. You have plenty of guests.
What? You even took away my only source of income. I don't even make enough on retirement.
Why am I required to think about your living fees and living conditions? The many years I was married to Henry, you never once asked about my parents. I'm already planning on buying a big house for them to retire in. I can finally spend some time with my parents and help decorate our house together. I no longer have to run over to you like a dog every time you call for me. I'm looking forward to a relaxed life from now on. What are you saying? I was never that harsh to you. We had fond memories as a family, too. Come back. These small fights happen here and there. I was only teasing you all those times. It was nothing serious. It was all for your own good. My own good? Are you crazy? People were saying that I wasn't being strict enough on you, so I just ordered you here and there. It's nothing serious. It's natural for mothers-in-law to order once in a while. You're my son's precious wife. You're like a daughter to me. I never took you for granted. I saw you as my child. That's why you wanted me to cling on to you? Of course! See, you understand. But I guess my way of expressing that was wrong. I probably shouldn't have pushed you so much during the party. You're already so successful and amazing. Mrs. Dunstan. So, just why don't you reconsider a little and forget about the divorce? Take Henry back. These things happen every now and then. I've had bad fights too. No, my decision is final. I'm happy being single. I also know exactly what you're thinking. You have never once genuinely cared about me. It was my money that you wanted. Your true colors came out during the party. I'm not that stupid. What true colors? Fine. I'll apologize for everything. Let's start fresh. Even if I could turn back time for some reason, I would have still made the same choice. What? If anything, I probably would have asked for a divorce sooner, so I could have avoided paying more and wasting my time. I've made it clear, but I have no intention to return. I'm going to live for myself from now on and enjoy my life with my parents. So please take care of yourselves. I'm begging you. Please! Just reconsider for the elderly. That's something you should resolve with your family. I've already done my part helping your family. I no longer pity you even if you begged me or blackmailed me. Please start thinking of ways to support your family from now on. I'm no longer an option. So bye now. Hold on. I didn't finish talking. Please, I said wait. Just hear me out a little. Please. After a couple of months, the divorce with Henry was finalized. It was a wonderful feeling for me. I was finally able to throw away that family from my life. It is unfortunate that I can't get my hard-earned money back. But I want to be positive and think of it as a life lesson. A very expensive life lesson. But thanks to that horrible experience, I was able to move on and am freely enjoying my life. Since then, I've got another promotion and got my dream house with my parents. Henry's brother messaged me that Henry finally started seriously looking for work to earn some basic money. It turns out that he's also doing part-time as a pizza delivery driver while looking for work. He used to be a talented businessman, so it was shocking to hear that he resorted to pizza delivery. But other than that, everything was fine with them. Although Mrs. Dunstan cursed me from finding love, I was able to get in touch with my childhood friend, Sean. We talked on the phone for hours, and I told him all about my situation. After a few coffee dates, he proposed, and now we are happily engaged. My parents have one half of the house to themselves, and Sean and I enjoy the bottom floors. The setup makes it perfect to check in on my parents. I am living happily with Sean and my parents and couldn't ask for a better and more free life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.